Okay, so here's the thing we're not considering.
Okay.
We're always like, Selena can't be the best assassin.
Uh-huh.
What if all the other assassins legitimately suck? Gang, it's chapter 47. Let's see. Will Dorian make it to Selena in time? Has Selena opened a demon gate and fucked us all? Stick with the watch to the end of the episode. Watch to the end of the video to find out.
Solid.
Chapter 47. The cut. Oh. A phone call.
Phone call hung up on.
Fuck the phone call. The cut on her arm throbbed, but Selena kept her hand steady as she dipped her finger again into her blood and traced the ward mark on the wall, copying the symbols in the book with perfect precision.
Of course it's perfect.
They formed an archway, a door, and her blood gleamed in the light of the candles she had brought. What speak, friend, and enter ass door is this? Me? Not everything's about Tolkien. Me makes a Tolkien reference. It had to be perfect, Each symbol had to be flawless, or else it wouldn't work. She kept pressing on the wound to keep it from clotting. Not everyone can harness the marks. No.
So did she have to use blood?
The Walking Dead said there had to be power in the blood to do it. Cain had clearly had some trace of power. That must be why the king had rounded up Cautain and Roland too. He'd used the ward keys to suppress magic, but he must have some way of harnessing the innate power in someone's blood, and the ward marks must be able to access that too. She drew another symbol. Nearly finished with the archway. Though power could warp things, it had warped Cain, but it wouldn't warp her.
Because she's so great and perfect. She's definitely better.
It didn't say that.
Oh.
But it had also allowed him to summon the Ritterrack and gain even more power for himself. Thank the weird, Cain was dead. There was one mark left to draw, the one that would bring her the person she so desperately needed to see, if only for a moment. It was complex, a weave of loops and angles. She took out her chalk and practiced on the floor until she got it right, then etched it in blood on the wall. Nehemia's name in weird mark form.
In weird mark form? Okay.
She examined the doors she'd drawn and got to her feet. Hey, better hope that there's no other dead person called Nehemia.
There's so many Nehemias.
She examined the doll she'd drawn and got to her feet. The book held in her clean hand. She cleared her throat and began to read the words on the page. She didn't know the language. Her throat burned and contracted as if fighting the sounds. But she panted through it, the words making her teeth ache like she'd just come in from the cold and was drinking something hot. And then the final words were over, her eyes watering. No wonder this kind of power fell out of favor. The symbols written in her blood began to glow green.
Began to boil.
One after another, until the whole archway was a line of light. The stones within its borders darkened, then disappeared.
Darkened. Nice.
The blackness within the green archway seemed to reach out for her. It had worked. Holy gods, it had worked.
Oh, the gods are holy this time.
What was that? What waited for her when she died? Nehemia had gone here? Nehemia, she whispered, her throat raw from the spell. There was nothing. Nothing there, just void. Selena looked at the book, then at the wall and the symbols she'd drawn. She'd written it correctly. The spell was correct. The spell was right. Nehemia? She whispered towards the endless dark. There was no response. Perhaps it needed time. The book hadn't specified how long it would take. Maybe Nehemia had to travel through whatever this realm was.
This book leaves a lot of things unanswered. Maybe you shouldn't be using it, my dear, when you know nothing about what you're fumbling around with.
So Selena waited. The longer she stared into that endless void, the more it seemed to stare back. It was just like that dream. The one where she was standing on the edge of that ravine.
That dream, that ravine.
You are nothing more than a coward.
Echoed out from the deep.
Please.
As a hand reached out and crushed her.
Please, Selena whispered into the dark. There was a sudden yelp from far, far above, and Selena whirled toward the stairs at the end of the hall. Moments later, faster than should be possible, Fleetfoot bounded down the stairs.
And through the portal?
I hope she body slammed Selena into the portal. Came bounding down the stairs.
How'd she get in here? I mean, of course, the dresser isn't in front of the
racing
portal.
for her. Not for her, Selena realized, as she beheld the wagging tail, the panting, the yip that could only be joy. Not for her, because M-.
She was never this excited to see her.
Selena looked towards the portal. At the same moment, Fleetfoot skidded to a halt. And then something stopped. And then everything stopped as she beheld the shimmering figure standing on just the other side of the portal. Fleetfoot lay on the ground, tail still wagging, whining softly. The edges of Nehemia's body rippled and blurred, fracturing in some sort of with some sort of inner life. But her face was clear, M-.
So we knew it's definitely
her. Face was... It was her face. Selena. Her face was... It was her face. Selena sank to her knees.
Very human.
She felt the warmth of her tears before she realized she was crying. I'm sorry, was all she could say. I'm so sorry. But Nehemia remained on the other side of the portal. Fleetfoot whined again. I may not cross this line.
Oh my gosh, is it really Nehemia?
I may not cross this line, Nehemia said gently to the dog. Notice that she talked to the dog before she talked to the person. That's all I can say.
Because you know what? She's dead. She don't care about being nice anymore. She cares about who did I not get to say goodbye to, who I really wanted to say goodbye to? This dog.
And neither may you. Her tone shifted, and Selena knew Nehemia was now staring at her. I thought you were smarter than this. Selena looked up, the light radiating off the princess, and it reached through the glowing portal.
Disappointment!
As if there truly was some sort of line, M-, some final boundary. I'm sorry, Selena whispered again. I just wanted M-.
Help? So you don't have to do it on your own?
There is no time for you to tell me what you long to say. I came here because you need to be warned. Do not open this portal again. The next time you do, I will not be the one who answers your call, and you will not survive the encounter. No one has the right to open the door to this realm, no matter how fierce their grief. She hadn't known. Had it meant.
Of course she hadn't known. She, blundered straight into this.
Fleetfoot pawed at the floor. Goodbye, my dear friend, Nehemia said to the dog, and began walking. Did it say that? Yes.
Ha ha!
Literally. And began walking into the blackness. Selena just stood there, unable to move or think. Her throat burned with those pent-up words. The words that now choked the life out of her. Idlentia. Nehemia paused to look back at her. The void seemed to be swallowing her up bit by bit. You will not understand yet, but I knew what my fate was to be, and I embraced it.
Yep, there you go.
I ran toward it because it was the only way for things to begin changing.
Gosh, I really
for
need
events to be set. Don't interrupt my queen. For events to be set in motion. No matter what I did, Elentia, I want you to know that in the darkness of the past 10 years, you were one of the bright lights for me. Do not let that light go out. And before Selena could reply, the princess was gone. There was nothing in the dark, as though Nehemia had never been, as though she made it all up. Come back, she whispered. Please, M-Dash, come back. But the darkness remained the same, and Nehemia was gone. There was a scrape of footsteps, M-Dash, but not from the portal. Rather, it came from her left. From Archer, who stood there gaping. I don't believe it, he whispered.
Okay, I must have been reading the next chapter when I saw the thing at the end. Okay, huge disappointment, huge letdown in this chapter. So, no calamity happened.
Ah!
No calamity happened. Apparently, Nehemia was actually summoned. So, apparently it's actually Nehemia. Nehemia ends by giving good words to Selena. She should have said, "Goodbye, my dear friend," to the dog and left.
I know. I was
that would have
reading
been
it.
so good.
And I literally was like, don't censor the book. Don't censor the book when I saw what was coming up.
Ugh. So I'm very disappointed in this chapter. Also, so was Gavin's ghost showing up to Dorian wrong? Or is Nehemia, or is Selena now going to do something else big and terrible?
Probably something else big and terrible. Or maybe Gavin just always plans for the worst.
Ha!
Oh, I bet she's going to try to kill Archer. And then
Why?
because he showed up, and she's going to be like, you showed up? How dare you? And then Dorian's going to have to save Archer.
Oh.
That's my prediction. We will find out today or tomorrow. You
We'll find out
when
tomorrow
you find out.
or maybe the next day.
We'll find out tomorrow or later. Yeah, man. Oh, were you done?
That's basically it. I'm just very disappointed.
Again.
And granted, it's near the end of the book, so maybe they don't want to have something big and terrible happen. Why'd you put it at the end of the book?
To change how the book ends, that could be the beginning of the next book.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, Selena's just unleashed the plagues from the Bible.
Huh.
Uh-oh.
The literal plagues from the Bible.
Anyway, yeah, it just would have been nice if Selena wasn't right, because she's always right. She is always right. This woman can do nothing wrong, apparently. And also, you know, it could show how, like, you can make mistakes in your grief. That she is so, like, toned up on her own grief that she released the plagues from the Bible. And, yeah, I really wish that Nehemia had said goodbye, friend, to the dog and left it at that. She already had the last word in. Leave Selena crying on the floor.
Yeah, no less comforting, no less, oh, I knew my fate and I ran towards it. Be comforted. It's not your fault. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a really, really disappointing chapter. Chapter, what was this again? 45?
45, I think. Was it?
47.
No, 47.
It's 47. Chapter 47, very, very disappointing.
Ultra lame.
It could have been great.
Ultra lame.
Yeah. Anyways, I think that sums it up. That sums up this chapter very nicely.
Verily, verily. See ya.